What if the only thing standing between you and the life you dream of is the way you think? Have you ever considered that your current reality is the exact reflection of your deepest beliefs, both spoken and silent? Are your fears truly stopping you, or have you simply agreed to live within their walls? What does persistence mean when your heart is broken, but your purpose still whispers? How do you define success, and is it your definition or someone else's? When was the last time you acted with such bold confidence that even your doubts stood still? The first question is not just philosophical, it's personal. What if the only thing standing between you and the life you dream of is the way you think? Most people spend years, sometimes decades, chasing strategies, waiting for opportunities and hoping for change, while the doorway was never locked, only unrecognized. Your thoughts shape your inner reality long before they ever influence the outer world. You cannot have a wealthy life with a poor mindset. You cannot build confidence with the bricks of self-doubt. You cannot grow if you believe you're stuck. That's why the first transformation doesn't happen in your circumstances, it happens in your mind. Now reflect on the second question. Have you ever considered that your current reality is the exact reflection of your deepest beliefs, both spoken and silent? Listen closely. You don't get what you want. You get what you believe. Your mind doesn't work off wish lists. It works off blueprints. Every repeated thought, every internal narrative, I'm not ready, I'm not good enough, people like me don't succeed, these beliefs become the architecture of your life. If your beliefs are small, your world will shrink. But if your beliefs are empowered, focused, and fed with purpose, your world will stretch to meet them. So, what do you believe about yourself, about your future, about what you deserve? Because belief leads to action, and action reveals the truth of your desires. You can't outrun fear, but you can walk through it. Fear will always stand guard at the gate of transformation. It's not a sign to stop, it's a signal that you're close to something meaningful. The difference between those who transform and those who don't is not the absence of fear, it's the presence of decision. Action taken despite fear. That's how you build persistence. That's how confidence grows. That's how you start trusting your voice even when no one else claps. Purpose is not found. It is remembered. You came here with something, a dream, a calling, a silent knowing that you were made for more than just surviving. When you reconnect with that purpose, you rise. You rise above confusion, above distractions, above opinions. And from that place, your persistence is no longer fueled by pressure, but by clarity. Confidence is not arrogance. Confidence is alignment. It's when your mind, your heart, and your actions speak the same language. It's when you stop asking for permission to be great. And growth, real growth, isn't about accumulation. It's about becoming. It's when you evolve into someone your past self would look at in awe. Success, then, is not a destination. It's a reflection. It reflects how you've mastered your mindset, reprogrammed your beliefs, aligned your actions, stared down your fears, and never gave up when quitting was easier. Transformation is not a miracle. It's a method. And it begins in the quietest part of your mind, where thoughts become choices, and choices become a new life. So let me ask you again, what if everything you need is already inside you, waiting for permission to awaken? And if not now, then when? What if the only thing standing between you and the life you dream of is the way you think? At the core of every achievement, every breakthrough, every success story, there lies one central truth. Our thoughts shape our reality. We live in a world where we are constantly told what to do, how to act, and what to believe. Yet, the most powerful tool at our disposal is often the one we ignore the most. our mind. The way we think directly influences the way we live. It's like planting a seed in the ground. What you think is the soil, and what grows from it will be determined by the quality of that soil. Think about it. Your thoughts are the first step toward creation. Before you can build anything, whether it's a career, a relationship, a business, or even self-confidence, it starts with a thought. Your mind is the architect, designing the blueprint of your future. If you hold thoughts of doubt, fear, or limitation, these will act as the walls of your life. But if you choose to think big, if you decide that success, happiness, and abundance are possible for you, then your mind begins to work toward manifesting that reality. One of the most profound ideas we can grasp is that the mind is not a passive receiver of external influences, but an active creator. We're not just reacting to the world, we are shaping it, moment by moment, thought by thought. This means that if you're stuck, if you feel like you're spinning your wheels, it's not necessarily because of your circumstances, it's because of the patterns of thinking you've allowed to take root. The way you think about yourself is crucial. For many, self-limiting beliefs are the greatest barrier. You might not even realize it, but how you perceive your abilities, your worth, and your potential directly impacts what you're able to achieve. If you believe you can't do something, you'll find every reason to prove yourself right. The mind will create evidence to confirm its beliefs, whether those beliefs are positive or negative. If you see yourself as someone who isn't worthy of success or happiness, your actions, your habits, and your choices will reflect that inner conviction. You might find yourself hesitating to take risks, avoiding opportunities, or even sabotaging your own progress. On the other hand, if you begin to change the way you think, if you begin to believe that you are worthy, capable, and destined for greatness, your actions will start to align with those beliefs. The mind becomes a powerful force, a guiding compass that leads you to take risks, face challenges, and rise above obstacles. You start making decisions that serve your goals, not your fears. You begin acting in ways that align with your highest potential rather than your past. This shift in thinking is often where the magic happens. It doesn't require a drastic transformation overnight. It simply requires a shift in perspective. Instead of seeing setbacks as failures, you start to view them as lessons. Instead of seeing obstacles as signs to quit, you start to see them as opportunities to grow stronger, wiser, and more resilient. This is where transformation begins. When you begin to see yourself and your situation through the lens of possibility, not limitation. Your thoughts are powerful. They are not just random, fleeting ideas. They are shaping the trajectory of your life. When you begin to believe that you are capable of achieving your dreams, you send a message to the universe that you are ready. Your actions, energy, and focus shift in alignment with that belief, and the world responds accordingly. So, what if the only thing standing between you and the life you dream of is the way you think? The truth is, it's the first thing you need to change. Shift your mindset, transform your beliefs, and watch how your reality begins to transform as well. The power has always been within you, just waiting to be unleashed through your thoughts. Have you ever considered that your current reality is the exact reflection of your deepest beliefs, both spoken and silent? This is a powerful thought because it suggests that your life right now is not a random series of events, but rather the result of your inner convictions. Whether you're conscious of it or not, your beliefs about yourself, the world, and the people around you are constantly shaping the reality you experience. Every thought you think, whether it's spoken aloud or quietly held in your mind, sends out vibrations that affect your choices, actions, and the way you interpret the world. The beliefs we hold about ourselves are particularly impactful. If you believe deep down that you are worthy of success, that you have the capability to achieve your dreams, and that the world is abundant, your reality will reflect these beliefs. You will act with confidence. You will seize opportunities. You will attract people, situations, and experiences that affirm your positive beliefs. However, if your beliefs are rooted in fear, self-doubt, or feelings of inadequacy, your life will reflect that as well. When you believe that you're not good enough, not deserving of success, or that life is always against you, your actions and decisions will align with that belief. You might procrastinate, avoid risks, or choose safe paths that keep you stuck. You might find yourself in situations that mirror your internal state, relationships that reinforce your fears, jobs that stifle your potential, or opportunities that seem just out of reach. This principle of belief shaping reality operates whether we acknowledge it or not. The beliefs you carry are like lenses through which you view the world. If you believe that the world is a place full of scarcity and competition, that's what you will see. If you believe the world is abundant and full of opportunity, that's what will appear before you. It's not magic. It's the result of the mental filters that you unknowingly put in place. Beliefs, both spoken and silent, carry immense power because they guide your actions. Your spoken beliefs, like affirmations or the words you say to others, reinforce the reality you're creating. For instance, saying, "I can do this," or "I'm capable of greatness," is a conscious choice to affirm a belief that propels you forward. But even more powerful are the silent beliefs, the ones you don't say out loud but hold deeply within yourself. These are often the beliefs that shape your actions most profoundly. These silent beliefs are formed from past experiences, societal conditioning, or inherited patterns, and they can either support or hinder your growth. It's important to recognize that your current reality, though it may not always be perfect, is not a punishment. It's a reflection of where you are in your belief system. The people you encounter, the situations that arise, the opportunities that appear, they're all a direct mirror of your inner beliefs. If you are surrounded by negativity, doubt, or conflict, it might be time to examine your inner landscape. What are you believing about yourself? What are you believing about the world? These silent convictions are creating the world you live in. But the empowering truth is this: if your beliefs created your current reality, they can also create your future. You have the ability to shift your beliefs, to rewrite the story you've been telling yourself. You can choose to believe in your potential and your worthiness and in the endless possibilities that lie before you. When you do, your actions will change, your energy will shift, and your reality will begin to transform. So, if you want to change your life, start by changing your beliefs. Start by acknowledging the power of your thoughts and the role they play in shaping your world. What you believe, whether spoken or silent, is the foundation upon which your reality is built. The key to transformation lies in understanding this truth and using it to your advantage. The life you dream of is waiting for you. It begins with a shift in belief. Are your fears truly stopping you, or have you simply agreed to live within their walls? Fear is one of the most powerful forces in human life. It has the potential to paralyze us, to hold us back from stepping into the unknown, from taking risks, or from pursuing our dreams. But what if the true nature of fear isn't as much about an external threat as it is about an internal agreement we've made to let fear define our actions and choices? What if we are not truly being stopped by fear itself, but by the limits we've placed around it? Fear, in its essence, is a natural response to perceived danger. It's an instinctive part of our survival mechanism. But what many fail to realize is that much of the fear we experience isn't related to any real danger. It's a product of our own thoughts, beliefs, and interpretations of the world. Fear often becomes a mental construct shaped by past experiences, societal expectations, or the anticipation of something that hasn't even happened yet. The critical question to ask is whether we are truly being held back by fear or if we have simply agreed to live within the walls that fear has built. The walls of fear are invisible but incredibly strong. They are built from repeated thoughts of "I can't," "I'm not good enough," or "what if I fail?" Over time, these thoughts grow into self-imposed barriers that limit our potential and keep us from taking the actions we need to live the life we desire. These walls, which fear has constructed, often seem like an insurmountable obstacle. Yet in reality, they are made of the very thoughts and beliefs we've allowed to persist in our minds. When we say that fear is stopping us, we are often unknowingly giving power to those thoughts. We become so focused on the fear of failure, the fear of rejection, or the fear of making mistakes that we stop moving forward. The truth is, fear will always be there in some form. It's not something that vanishes completely, but it's how we choose to respond to it that defines whether we are truly being stopped or whether we're simply choosing to stay inside the walls we've built. At some point, we must ask ourselves, what would happen if we chose to step outside those walls? What if we stopped allowing fear to dictate our actions? What if we acknowledged it, respected it, but then moved forward despite it? The moment we decide to face our fears, we begin to dismantle the walls that once seemed so solid. And as we take small steps outside of those walls, we begin to realize that the fear wasn't as strong as we had believed. It was never an external force holding us back. It was our own perception of it. Living within the walls of fear might feel safe because it's familiar. It's a place where we don't have to face the unknown, where we don't have to risk failure or discomfort. But this safety is an illusion because it ultimately keeps us from the life we want to live. The more we agree to stay within those walls, the more we confine ourselves to a life of mediocrity, self-doubt, and stagnation. On the other hand, when we choose to break through those walls, we unlock a world of opportunity. Fear might still be there, but it no longer holds the power to control us. By stepping outside the walls, we begin to embrace the unknown with courage, knowing that growth, success, and transformation lie beyond the comfort zone we've created. So ask yourself, are you truly being stopped by your fears, or have you simply agreed to live within the boundaries they've set for you? The decision to break free is yours. The walls of fear are only as strong as your willingness to stay inside them. When you choose to move forward despite fear, you open the door to endless possibilities, and you begin to rewrite the story of your life. What does persistence mean when your heart is broken, but your purpose still whispers? Persistence, in its true essence, is not just about continuing through easy times or when the path is clear. It's not merely about pushing forward when everything seems to be going according to plan. The real power of persistence emerges when you face adversity, when life knocks you down, and when everything within you feels shattered. It is then that persistence is tested most deeply, not when success is within arm's reach, but when your spirit feels broken and your heart is weighed down by the weight of pain and loss. At those moments, when it seems like the world is crumbling around you, it's easy to give in. The pain of a broken heart, the feeling of failure, the crushing weight of disappointment, they can all make the idea of pushing forward feel like an impossible feat. And yet, it is precisely in those times of emotional struggle that persistence is most needed. Because persistence isn't about ignoring the pain. It's about honoring your purpose even when your heart feels heavy. When your heart is broken, it's not just your emotions that are fractured. Your confidence, your sense of direction, and your belief in the future can all feel uncertain. You may question whether your dreams are worth pursuing or whether the pain you're experiencing is a sign that you should stop. But it's important to realize that your purpose, the reason you are here, and the goals that light a fire within you never truly disappear. It might be buried beneath the weight of heartache, but it still whispers to you, calling you to rise again. This whisper is the heart of persistence. It's the inner voice that urges you to keep moving forward even when every step feels like a burden. Persistence in these moments is not about moving at the same pace or in the same direction as before. It's about keeping your focus on your purpose, even when everything else seems dark and unclear. It means not letting the pain define you or derail you from what you are meant to accomplish. There's a quiet strength that comes from continuing, even when you don't have the energy to. It's about showing up for your dreams, even when you don't feel like it. Sometimes persistence is simply taking the next step, even if that step is small or uncertain. When your heart is broken, but your purpose still whispers, persistence means finding the strength to listen to that whisper. It means trusting that there is something greater at work, even if you can't see it right now. Your purpose doesn't need to be fully understood or perfectly aligned in every moment. It only needs to be acknowledged and trusted. The more you keep moving toward it, even in the midst of emotional turmoil, the more you create space for healing, growth, and eventually transformation. There's a profound beauty in continuing forward, despite the tears, despite the doubts, despite the pain. Every step you take, no matter how small, is an act of courage. And over time, that persistence becomes your foundation. It builds resilience. It strengthens your character. It teaches you that your purpose is worth more than the temporary pain you feel. Through persistent action, you allow your broken heart to heal. And in the process, you learn how to rise even stronger than before. True persistence isn't about ignoring the hurt or pretending it doesn't exist. It's about having the courage to move forward anyway, knowing that your purpose, your reason for being, is calling you to rise above your circumstances. And in doing so, you find that your broken heart is not a barrier to your dreams. It's a testament to your strength and a reminder that your purpose will always carry you forward, even when everything else seems to fall apart. How do you define success? And is it your definition or someone else's? Success is a word that carries different meanings for different people. And yet in our society, it is often narrowly defined by external markers, wealth, status, power, or achievement. These metrics of success are widely accepted, celebrated, and pursued. But if you take a moment to reflect, you might realize that success doesn't have a universal definition. It's not a one-size-fits-all concept. The question isn't just about what success looks like. It's about whose definition you're living by. Are you chasing success as others have defined it? Or are you following your own inner compass? For many, success is often viewed through the lens of material wealth or social recognition. Society tends to paint a picture of success where accumulating wealth, climbing the corporate ladder, or attaining a certain level of fame equates to a life well lived. We are conditioned to think that if we reach these external milestones, we have made it. But this definition of success can be limiting and superficial. It assumes that fulfillment is found in tangible achievements and public acknowledgement, ignoring the internal, deeply personal aspects of success that are often far more meaningful. True success, in its most authentic form, is deeply personal. It is an ongoing journey of growth, purpose, and alignment with one's values. It's not necessarily about how much you own or how many accolades you've received, but whether you are living a life that feels fulfilling to you. It's about waking up each day feeling at peace with your choices, knowing that your actions are in alignment with your values and purpose. For some, success may be creating a loving family, contributing to a cause greater than themselves, or pursuing personal growth and self-mastery. For others, it may mean achieving excellence in their craft or building a legacy of positive impact. But here's the crux of the matter. Much of how we define success is influenced by external forces. From childhood, we are taught to strive for certain goals: good grades, prestigious jobs, financial security, and these ideals can become so ingrained in our psyche that we mistake them for our own desires. We start to measure success based on societal standards, not necessarily our own, and as a result, we end up chasing a version of success that may not resonate with our true selves. The challenge is to disconnect from these external definitions and reconnect with our own sense of purpose. Success is about asking yourself the hard question, what does success look like for me, not for anyone else? It's about identifying your personal values, your passions, and your long-term vision for your life. It's about understanding what brings you true joy and fulfillment, not what looks good on paper or impresses others. For example, you might define success as living authentically, building meaningful relationships, and contributing to a cause that aligns with your beliefs. In this context, success isn't about how much money you make or how many people know your name. It's about the richness of your experiences, the depth of your personal growth, and the positive impact you have on others. For others, success might be a well-established career or financial independence, but even that definition can evolve as they reflect on what truly matters in their life. Ultimately, success is not something that can be measured by a singular standard or metric. It's a deeply personal experience, shaped by your own values, aspirations, and sense of fulfillment. The key is to take the time to truly reflect on what success means to you, without being influenced by external pressures or societal expectations. It's about living in alignment with who you are and creating a life that feels meaningful to you, not just following someone else's path. So, ask yourself, what does success mean to me? Is it the definition I've inherited, or is it a vision I've created for myself? The moment you take ownership of your own definition of success is the moment you start living a life that is truly yours. When was the last time you acted with such bold confidence that even your doubts stood still? Bold confidence is a force that has the power to silence doubt and create momentum where once there was hesitation. It's the kind of confidence that doesn't merely come from a place of self-assuredness, but from an inner belief that you are capable, deserving, and ready to tackle whatever lies ahead, no matter how daunting it may seem. It's a kind of confidence that makes you so certain of your path that doubt, instead of controlling your actions, becomes an irrelevant whisper in the background. The last time you acted with this kind of bold confidence might not be a moment you can easily recall, because it's often in the act of true boldness that you forget to keep track of your fears. It could have been a time when you pushed yourself to do something that terrified you, whether it was speaking in front of a crowd, pursuing a new venture, or making a big life decision. In that moment, you might have felt the natural instinct of fear rise within you, but instead of letting it stop you, you took a step forward regardless. You didn't wait for the perfect conditions or the absence of fear. You acted despite it. This is when your doubts, which often control your actions, become irrelevant, as your belief in yourself overrides them. When you move forward with bold confidence, something incredible happens. Your doubts, which usually dominate your thoughts, are put into their proper place. They no longer dictate your choices or paralyze you into inaction. Instead of constantly wondering, what if I fail, or what if I'm not good enough, you focus on, what if I succeed, or what if this is exactly what I need to grow? This shift in mindset is the essence of bold confidence. It's not about eliminating doubt entirely. It's about acknowledging it and choosing to act anyway. Think about a time when you made a decision that felt huge, and yet, in that moment, you acted without second-guessing yourself. Maybe it was a risk you took, a leap of faith that seemed irrational, but deep down, you knew it was the right thing to do. At that moment, you didn't allow doubt to hold you back. You were driven by a higher sense of purpose or belief that propelled you forward. You trusted yourself and your instincts, and that act of trust created the confidence to move beyond your fears. In these moments, doubt doesn't disappear entirely. It simply loses its power. It becomes a passing thought, something you acknowledge but don't dwell on. Confidence doesn't require the absence of fear. It thrives in spite of it. True, bold confidence comes when you're able to take action, even when you feel vulnerable, when you don't have all the answers, And when the outcome is uncertain, it's a belief that no matter what happens, you will be okay, and that each step forward is an opportunity for growth, even if it doesn't go according to plan. Bold confidence is often built through experience. Each time you act despite fear, each time you prove to yourself that you are capable, the stronger your confidence becomes. The more you step into the unknown, the more you realize that doubts are just thoughts and they don't have the power to stop you unless you allow them to. In fact, when you act boldly, your doubts become a signal that you're on the right path. The greater the fear, the more important the action. When was the last time you acted with bold confidence, where your doubts were so quiet they didn't even have time to interrupt? That moment was a testament to your inner strength and the power of trusting yourself. It was a moment where you not only overcame doubt, but you grew in the process. And the more you take those bold actions, the more confident you become in your ability to navigate through any challenges life throws your way. In conclusion, bold confidence is not the absence of doubt, but the decision to act despite it. It is the strength to take steps forward even when fear and uncertainty try to hold you back. Each time you act with conviction, your doubts lose their power, and your belief in yourself grows stronger. Success, true fulfillment, and transformation are not found in waiting for the perfect moment when all doubts are gone, but in choosing to move forward even with the uncertainty. The moments of bold confidence are not about eliminating fear. They are about acknowledging it, embracing it, and doing what needs to be done anyway. Ultimately, the path to success and personal growth is paved not with the absence of fear, but with the courage to act despite it. When you embrace bold confidence, you not only overcome doubt, but you also unlock your true potential, transforming not only your reality, but also the person you are becoming. The power to silence your doubts and move forward lies within you, and every step you take with bold confidence brings you closer to the life you are meant to live.